Hi everyone, my name is Johan Lozano. I am chemistry student and today I will talk about the hydrogen as future energy. So the content of this presentation is first of all the introduction, then I will contextualize you in the type of energy. Then I will talk about the climate change and the future energy, hydrogen, and their drawbacks. And finally, I will talk about the most important conclusion of this talk. So let's start. I would like to start this presentation with these questions. Why it is important to consider all future energy options. So I bring you three reasons that answer these questions. The first one is the rapid increase of human populations. So it's important to know that the world population is increasing at very quickly rate. So energy needs to increase as well. So for example, the world population was 3 billions in 1960. Um, Around of 6 billions in 20s, 8 billions at this time, and it's expected that this amount will be reached between 9 millions and 10 billions in 2050. So there is a very important factor. The second one is the dramatic effects in climate change. So this climate change has caused that the political nations, focus on research new energy alternatives of the fossil fuels. So this is because of these fossil fuels are very contaminating for the environment and they injure the ozone layer. So I will discuss a little bit more of this topic later. Another reason to consider our future energy options is the air contamination. So this option is very related with the last one, and this is because of the use of oil and fossil fuels as power energy. So this generate a lot of particles, a lot of particulated gases, which have very dramatic effects in the contamination of the air. In this point, I would like to contextualize you in the type of energy and their consumption around the world. First, the energy most used in the world is oil, which is very contaminated, as well as coal, which is the second source of energy most used. This type of energy are very contaminated because the source of this type is fossil fuels, which in their combustion process produce very contaminating species like carbon dioxide, methane, and so forth. So the natural gas is not an exception because it comes from oil through very refination process and is very contaminating as well. The other type of energy is nuclear, which have around of 5% of consumption around the world. And this energy have a lot of detractors around the world. And I think that it is because the high rates of manipulation of all equipment. So there are many problems in this energy that have to be fixed. And the last type of energy is renewables. Is the lowest percentage around the world. So let's move on how these fossil fuels like oil, coal, and natural gas affect our world. As I told you before, the combustion process of fossil fuels produce a lot of contaminating species around the world. These molecules accumulate on the ozone layer and cause the known greenhouse effect. So one of the principal problems of this effect is the increase of global warming in the world per year. Therefore, there is important and necessary that the currently society consider new and clean energy options for the future. Okay, one of the most attractive energy option is hydrogen. Hydrogen, in spite of being a small and simple molecule, has received most attention over the past 2 decades. This is because hydrogen is an energy carrier. There is a multiplicity of end-use application of hydrogen, which can be divided in the following subcategories. The first one is stationary, which includes the range from power plants to fuel cells. And the second one is movable, which includes anything that moves, such as boats, cars, airplanes, and so forth. The last one, application of hydrogen energy, is like portable generation for home, office, and so forth. Hydrogen, there are some drawbacks around the hydrogen as energy carrier. These drawbacks are being confronted and deal with researchers and developers around the world. And in order to present you a shorter spectrum of these problems, and the first one is that hydrogen is a flammable, which makes very difficult to control it. The second problem around the hydrogen is that, as I told you before, hydrogen is a very small molecule, and therefore it makes more difficult to contain hydrogen. And the last problem of this energy is that it's considered a secondary energy source, which means that other energy source must be used for its productions. So this other source can themselves emit harmful products. So therefore, the use of friendly methods, such as solar cells and wind, are alternative to produce hydrogen. And yes, one of the most important conclusion of this talk is that hydrogen is one of the most attractive options for options energy for the future because it is null contamination and efficiency. However, there are some drawbacks that have to be fixed, and a lot of research are trying to fix it. So thanks for the attention.